Alright folks, we're back out here at the farm today. I took a day vacation from work and I've got some great news to share. Is that I have officially turned the corner. So you see my mats there facing that direction. That's the end of the long road going to the south. And then now my mats are facing this direction. And I've turned 90 degrees, so I'm headed west now. But what I was going to show you in this first little bit was I explained that nasty milkshake mud in the past. And I explained why it was bad, but I never showed you how bad it is. So watch this as I dump it. Just the sound that it makes and the consistency of it, it almost turns your stomach. So you can see I've got down here in my hole, a little bit further out there past the bucket, underneath the bucket right there, you can see that I hit really good red clay, which was probably my saving grace, turning the corner on having enough material that stood up good. Got all this goop that was in the bottom of this original hole. And so I'm trying to get it out because I know there's good red clay under it, but I don't want it mixed in with my good stuff. So pour that nasty milkshake mud. We're just taking it around to the side here and stack it off to the back side and give it, I don't know, 5 years. Maybe it'll dry out. But once it dries, it'll be usable clay for something else. It's just right now, I mean, drop a stick in it, it would sink, let alone a 60,000 pound excavator or even a man walking on it. So try to get all this crap out of my way and kind of reshape my pit here. And once I get it lined out the way I need, I'll be moving forward. Oh, that's so gross. I'm moving forward, and my next target is right there is the old burn pit that they originally dug, that first burn pit. So it's about 4 foot deep, full of water and trees. So that'll be my next task. Get it cleaned out. There was a bunch of trees laid in right here, right in the way. I busted and smashed all those off to the side. Just about took one in the cab, which was quite scary, but thankfully it did not come in here with me. So anyway, for turning the corner, I'm doing pretty good. And that was really my goal today, was to turn the corner. And once I get it lined out, you know, like I said, the next challenge is the burn pit. If I get past that, I'll be homeward bound. I'm getting back to where the pond's going to be. And there you go, that's that. Got the soup off the top of it. Still some out there I just can't reach. We got all it moved, and sure as can be, there's my red clay right there on the bottom, right where I wanted it, and right where I expected to find it. So I'm going to start scraping off the surface here and getting more cleaned out of the way and moving forward and enjoying that nice red clay. Alright folks, well, I thought I'd just give you a quick little update. We're looking at the burn hole right here. So I have piled dirt and matted up in between it, and unfortunately right now I'm stuck between my burn hole and my, well, not my, another brush pile that got left here when they did the clearing work. And I've tried burning it, you know, I point out in the past, I tried lighting this one up and it just won't burn because it's not stacked right. But anyway, I tried starting to fish some of this stuff out of the burn pit without the thumb, and it's just not going well. It's too difficult. It's wanting to fall off and I can't get a good bite. So went ahead and folded my thumb batch down, which I must say was surprisingly easy. One-man gig, took me maybe 30 minutes, and most of that time was spent walking to the truck and hauling that heavy-ass link arm back over here. But I just curled the bucket all the way up, and I put my stick out so that when the thumb fell down, it hit the bucket and, you know, didn't hit real hard, and then curled the bucket back in and was able to line up the link pin on the thumb, and then used the bucket, just real gradual curled the bucket to push the top link pin, or to push the top alignment out, and then was able to throw that link pin through. So didn't have to beat on the pins or nothing, just lined them up real easy, slid them right in and pinned it up. So that being said, I want to try to get this burn hole cleaned out. I think this might make my day. If I get this cleaned out and get it pumped out, or even just cleaned out, I think I'd be happy for the day. So I better get back to work. Alright folks, we're back out here Thursday. I started in on Tuesday and just want to give you a quick morning update. I had my dozer guy come in yesterday and slicked off all the road that I built so far, and he was actually able to get back here to what I just built on Tuesday and actually able to turn the corner and slick all that off back to the excavator, which I'm glad, because I had mats laid in here. And then when he showed up Tuesday to talk about it, I moved those mats forward and I said, you know, hey, if you think you can turn the corner, they're out of your way. And sure enough, he did turn the corner. So Anyway, he slicked all this off coming back in here. You know, it was all rutted up and chopped up from the excavator, and it's by no means, you know, it's still not perfect, but it at least kind of looks like a road now. It doesn't just look like a choppy pile of mud. But I'm actually gonna gamble on it here because I'm walking on it and it feels plenty solid. So I'm gonna back my truck up at least to about in here. This was the original good road, and then right about in here is where I got stuck. So I don't want to get in through that just because I don't want to get stuck in my pickup. I don't have four-wheel drive to get myself out. So back up into here just so I don't have to carry stuff as far, and so my truck sits in the shade. But it's looking like it's going to shape up to be another great day, I hope, and with any luck, I'll be back there in that corner by the end of the day. Yes, sir. I managed to get me a fire lit after all. I don't know what it was, where I was trying to light that pile before, and I had my torch just going underneath the log. It just would not light that log up. I noticed as I was kind of knocking that stuff around, trying to move it away from my pit, that some of those logs, even though they've been laying there for, you know, over a year now, or a year close, when I'd go to hit them with the bucket with the teeth, it'd spray out water. Like even though it was dead and down, either it was sitting in water and so it was just soaking that water up, or just wasn't drying out. So makes sense. But I got her good and hot now. Now it's really rip roaring. But you can see over here is where I was sitting this morning. So I've managed to get on past the original burn hole over here. It's still not fully cleaned out, but I got past it. And then I had a hole out here. You can't really see it, but it was a hole that we dug back when we came in and got stuck back in January, I think. We were trying to dig down and try to find dry dirt. And so there's a hole there that's probably 8 or 10 foot deep, full of water. And when I started digging near it right here, it started wanting to spill over into my clay pit. So I threw the pump over there, pumped it out, and pumped it over into the burn hole, just so I didn't want to string out all the hoses, pump it all the way into the woods. It's no big deal. I'll pump it all out eventually anyway. But yeah, I've come, you know, close to another 100 foot, and pretty quick, really. And behind me, this is the way I'm headed. And that's actually above grade right there. So I'm only having to put about a foot of dirt that's real loose on top of it. Keep stacking my mats, and you know, if I can get past all this brush and crap here and get it knocked over out of the way and keep trenching as I need to, I'm gonna make that corner by the end of the day. That's my goal. All right, folks, well, I thought I'd take a quick break for a little update here. You can see there's the tree line right there. I'm gonna make it today. I'm darn sure I'm gonna make it. And what I've got to try to get to is, you can see right over here, I believe, you kind of see the white piles. That's the end of the old berm that they'd built. So I'm trying to get to there so I can connect my nice road with the old original berm that was built. And with that, we will have the donut, the berm that I need to keep all the floodwaters out of this place. Or not floodwaters, but excessive runoff out of this place, so that it will stay dry in the wetter seasons as well. You can see I've got a pretty good sized pit right here, hitting that good red clay down there about 3 to 4 feet again. So doing the same old thing, digging, stacking, but I got out here and now I'm stacking the good stuff on top of crap. So I'll strip off about 2 feet of sandy silty, and then below that there's a layer of real gooey milkshake. Some places there's the milkshake mud, some places there's not, but layer of real gooey clay, gray clay, and then you get into the redder stuff. That's good. So I'm stripping off the trash off my pits, but I'm stacking good stuff on top of trash. So I do get some of it kind of gooing up in between, but it's not horrible. And that's what happened here. I was trying to advance out and my mats started getting really, really soft. And so I had to back up, bring my mats back around in front of me or behind me, however you want to consider it, and then dug more out of my pit and stacked new clay right in here. And now I'm just starting to mat back over it again. So hopefully that'll hold up. You can see here where it's squishing out the sides of that milkshake mud. I never put that there. So it's worked its way up as I've been sitting on top of it vibrating. But anyway, still making good progress. I'm just absolutely tickled that I'm able to get out here and do it. I'm gonna run over here and move my water pump and start pumping that water out of that original sample pit, or out of the burn pit, and then try to get more water transferred out of that hole that's out there in the middle. My fire's pretty well burned down, but I can't get back to it to stir it. So go get the water pump moved, and I've got some special guests coming to check out the excavator and the farm. My brother-in-law and my 2 nephews. So when they get here, maybe I'll get a little video fun of them playing with the excavator. Holy cow! I made it. I'm in the southwest corner of the clearing, and I've even already turned the corner. Definitely getting better at this thing, and turning that corner went a heck of a lot smoother than it did when I was way off over there trying to turn the corner on Tuesday, but the impressive thing is I pretty much made this whole thing today, which makes me pretty happy. And that was I got here maybe 8, a little after, and took probably an hour lunch break, ran into town and ran some errands and whatnot, and even took a little time to play with my brother-in-law, let him play on it. So all that being said, given the conditions and what I had to go through, I'm pretty tickled with how much I got done. But let me show you where we ended up here. So we jump down. So this of course is all road, and then just right back here, oh, let me get around, I just built my road to here and then just made a little cut straight across, just a little berm, and that connects in with that original berm they ever built. So, you know, not perfect, not 100%. I'd be all for, you know, taking the road on around the rest of the way and building it up real solid. But this whole area in the future will be the pond, so there's no sense in taking it any further, building any fancier road. This is like super gooey because I just piled clay right inside that water. That ditch is about 2 feet deep, so not going to walk across there to show you, but you can see the white clay back there. That's where they stacked up stuff in the past for the short berm that I asked them to build up. So now I should be able to stick my pump in here, pump this whole ditch out. All this water that's standing on here will run into the ditch and pump out on the other side of the berm, but I don't have to do that today. Today I am done. I'm shutting down and I'm headed to the house.